someone in the house. Came all the way from, because he's the only one I can trust. So in case your money or maybe anything involve money, I can get your money comfortably for you back. And he's not like that. So he's a very trustworthy person. And he's a community leader in Scotland. And he's here. Please let's make welcome FASH. His name is Fasoro. We do call him FASH. Praise God. So we will do the presentation.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you for your work for the community. And I really extend my condolences to the church, the community, and to the wife of our brother. And may the Lord keep all us safe and be with the family and the church at this time. So I'm happy to be back here. Last year I was here, and I promised a lot of things that never happened. That shows we're a human being. Because one of them is to say we're going to host a data literacy program here. But maybe with the new team we've got in the church, we will do it. Yeah. So we need a lot of volunteers to make it work. So today we're going to look at a very important topic. Yeah. Pastor mentioned my name is Gbenga. But even my children cannot pronounce Gbenga, they call it Gbenga. So therefore, we have to look for the easiest one called FASH. So, and FASH works very well. So how many of us knows that we are in a very difficult time as migrants in the UK? We are. A lot of things are changing, and it centers on two important issues. It's about skills and our network. So, and I just want to thank Pastor for the topic, because the topic matters to me. It's about trends and analysis of UK immigration changes. So when we look at trends, it's about data. And Pastor will tell you, 2015, I dropped everything. I went back to study big data as a mature student. So they thought I was joking, but data is more important in my life than the immigration now because of where the world is going. Yeah. So today, I want to share how we can navigate it together, how we can help one another, and how we can have peace of mind, because everybody is very stressed, and that can affect our community. Next slide, please. So I'm from Scotland. Luckily, I've not been able to be in need of getting a visa to come here. So we are still under one union, but in our lifetime, it's going to happen. So as long as we have party like SNP, Alba Party, they want to break the union. So whether it's work, I don't know, but some of us will want it to happen so that APC, PDP, and Co can copy there and break everything breakable. Next slide, please. Please, because of time, I've been given 27 minutes, so next one. So many of us are familiar, and we are wondering why UK is becoming a hostile environment to migrants. But I just want us to open our mind, look at the data, and pretend to be the policy maker. When you look at the data we are looking at, say the number of people, non-EU immigrants coming to the UK, very flat, 2019, 2020, something changed. And as at today, we have more people coming to the country to work. And which sector of the economy are they working? Are they actually in line with the aspiration of the government in terms of high wage, high skill, high productivity economy? If you are familiar with the UK, you know the demographic nature of the country is also changing. We have elderly people who are living longer, and NHS is under tremendous stress. Yeah? But at the same time, to keep them alive, we need a lot of money. Yeah? And who is going to pay for it? COVID-19 alone took away 500,000 people who are under long-term illness. Who is going to cover those costs? We complain, but this is not developing nation. It is developed. Every developed nation, they are looking for money to ensure the country run very well. If you observe today, the number of portals in the UK is going like Africa. Local authorities are complaining they are likely to go bankrupt because a lot of us are not paying those taxes that the country needs. It's a fact. It is a fact. We are engaging in jobs that children born here who don't have experience can never do them. That is a fact. If you are working and you are getting less than 25,000, ask the children born here, they will prefer to go and get benefit than to do it. Yeah. So, next slide, please. And I want to open our mind to go and check apprenticeship program. The salary they are giving to those young people under the age of 18 who don't have experience that we've got, they are being paid 22, 23 without experience. I check those things regularly to challenge our community. We are spending 20,000, 13,000 to do what? To acquire COS. And in 2 months, 3 months time, it's the same headache. So the data you are looking at again is from Department of Work and Pension and the rest to say the number of people coming keeps increasing and we are not getting the tax. Next slide, please. So they did an exploration data again. Where are they working? It is healthcare work. Yeah. Other work there, you see temporary below. Talent, those are highly skilled. That is the focus of the government. It's very flat. What is happening? They need to change it. So if it is you, what are you going to do? We're going to use emotion, or you use data-driven and make informed decision about where the country should go. It doesn't favor us, but we have a solution. Well, that is what we need to do. Next slide, please. If we look at that, what comes to our mind? Everybody in this community also will be thinking CUS is about care and home carer. And the data is showing 349% increase. How do they make up the data? It is from the Home Office website. Yeah, we don't have enough medical practitioners and nurses. What everybody is doing is moving there. Are they right to stop it? You can answer your question, answer it. So, what we are getting from our community is people who study AI, machine learning, are becoming brain waste. Yeah? Brain waste. Maybe we should do what we call cost-benefit analysis. The cost of me going into healthcare as AI practitioner within 5 years, how much am I going to make? You spend 13,000 to buy, you go and get 20,000, and at the same time, somebody who will say, okay, I don't want to do this. I'm going to pay my own IHS. At the end of the day, they will be better than the healthcare. It's a fact. Because you can grow faster, you can move faster, and you can earn more than 120,000 within 3 years. It's a fact. But how many of us are considering that? Because if you earn 40, 40, 40, is that not 120? And somebody earning 20, 20, 20. At the end of 5 years, it's 100K. With a lot of stress. Long hours that can damage us. Let's go on. Next slide, please. Potential problem is local authority don't have enough money to make placement for us, but the number of children that we are bringing to the country, 4, 5, 7, some are even they will be refused because they want to bring their niece and nephew and they'll be fighting the Home Office. Yeah, and they say, why? This is a developed nation. I'm not saying what we're doing is wrong, but we also need to be mindful that some of these children are going to expose us very soon. Because if we are not able to create a good pathway for them, people are outside that will change them, Islamitize them, send them into so many things that we don't know exist here. They exist here too. Look after your children, please. All right. Next slide, please. Where are the migrants coming from? It is easy for data. The top, many of us are here, you're from Nigeria. Your country is number 2 here. Yeah? It's number 2 here. We have Indian, Nigerian, the rest. So, that's a big problem. This could be the reason why if you go for an interview, the next thing is they will be biased towards you because people behind who have entered did not perform very well. So next one, please. That is from 1st of January, we moved to very, very hostile environment. On the first, what we had it was you are not allowed to bring dependent. How many of us are aware of that? If you are now an international student, you are not allowed to bring your dependents. But that is not a correct statement. You can still bring your dependent if you are here to do MPhil, Masters by Research. You can still do your research. How many of us know that? If you are here to do a PhD, you can still bring your... So what is the problem for us? Going to units that are not fit for purpose. Courses that cannot take us to anywhere. Yeah, and that is the intention of the government to stop it. Universities are not happy because they are helping us to damage our own community. That is the fact. So, on the 6th of February, we have healthcare, immigration health surcharge, increased by 66%. On the 13th of February, we had issue with employer who are no longer, if they get it wrong, there is a penalty. They triple the fine for employer. If they employ you and they are not able to check you properly and you slip through the net and they are caught, that is one of the reasons why employers are afraid to employ foreign national. So you can see from 15,000 fine to 45,000. So add 45,000 times 2 people to your own business, 90K, because you employ somebody. The business is gone. I would prefer not to engage to employ migrants and keep my sanity because I don't want to be afraid all the time. So on the 11th of March too, a blow to the community, over 90,000 people who are working in that sector. From 11th of March, you are no longer eligible if you are working as a carer or senior care worker. On the 4th of April again, the threshold, because the Labour government, as you guys have been hearing now, and the Conservative, what are they planning? They want us to equip people who are already in the country. They want to stop people from coming. Because of what? The people who are here don't have the skills. It's a fact. It's a fact. If we employ many of the migrants doing certain highly skilled jobs, they cannot cope. I'm not saying everybody, but majority of us don't have the skill to live in this country. It's a fact. And we need to start to change our mindset, acquire those skills, and be better for our future and our children. On the 11th, it's the same thing that, okay, I will avoid everything. I will go and date. If you want to date somebody in the country, I will say date with data. If you don't date with data, you will fall into the same scam. Somebody might love you and pretend they are working. If they don't meet the threshold, it's a problem. You may be on a journey of 20 years because you date with the wrong data. Be careful. Next slide, please. This is the news everywhere now. We are being scammed, or we are scamming ourselves. People are getting COS, and at the end of the day, no work. What happens when you don't have a work? You get 60 days notice from the Home Office. Is that the situation we want to find ourselves? I heard a webinar recently that a lady came on it and said 3 times she has been scammed. And I asked her, you pay 15, 13. Why not use it to develop yourself? What is wrong with our brain? We like shortcuts too much as a nation. We love shortcuts. Yeah. So, if anyone is here, you have been exploited, please speak to me. Don't expose your employer because you put everybody into problem. This is cancerous now. A company that have 70 people, if they are caught or somebody exposes them, everybody will leave. That is the fact. I'm not supporting anyone to be exploited, but if you have been exploited and you need our help, please come to me. Next slide, please. Are we familiar with this? That a lot of people are at what? Risk of jackpot. We have jackpot that many people are thinking this is not the right decision they've made. Visa have been curtailed, and a lot of people have been cancelled as well. We have sponsors who are losing their license because they cannot keep pace with the changes of the Home Office. And for most of us who are also working, we are struggling because we lack the technical skills to keep a job. Yeah? So it's a big concern, and we need to be worried. Next slide, please. Look at this emoji. Which one would be applicable to your circumstances or a friend or your brother or your sister? People are confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, in state of dilemma. Why? Who can answer it? Because this is a developed nation. We are from a culture of somebody will do it for me. I will use my uncle network. I will use my influence. Here, you will have to do it yourself. And many are struggling. And that's why I say this is a developed nation. If your father is close to Tinubu, even here, if you are close to Rishi Sunak, you still have to do it yourself. That is a fact. Because we have to treat one another with respect and dignity. Yeah, next slide, please. So if you are also contemplating moving somewhere, yeah, I'm begging you, if you go to Ireland is even sending people back to the UK now. Yeah, if you check the news, that's what they are doing. And if you want to go to Canada, you see, Canada to set first ever cap on temporary resident is a developed nation. What they are getting is we need the talent, we need highly skilled people, but people who are coming need a lot of support. Who is going to support us? We have to support one another. Next slide, please. So that is where we find ourselves. If you ever have a car, once in a while you go on the street to see clamped. Many of us have been clamped. I've been clamped in my life before too. So, but there is always a solution. Yeah, there is always a solution. Who feel the same now? They are looking at the talent and the skill and the expectation of coming to the UK, you feel like you've been clamped. Anyone? Don't be shy. Yeah. So in the first service, I said, I lost 4 years of my career. But with the right support and network, I got it back. Accelerated. You know. So, and many of you will do the same thing. Amen. So, next slide, please. How many of us are familiar that whatever we are facing at the moment, it also, many of us have experienced it. Yeah? At a juncture in Abraham's life, presented with some of the hostile environment too. They say, Sarah, when we get there, you are no longer my wife. You are my sister. Yeah? If it's under the Shusina, what is that? Encouraging marriage or convenience. Then the Lord Jesus Christ also came what? When it was, oh, this guy, I've got a destiny. Let's eliminate him. Yeah. So please, what I'm putting here is to say, don't be judgmental on anyone. Immigration is a journey. Personalize your journey and don't copy somebody else because our circumstances are different. You don't know what God has deposited on your own pathway. Run your race. Because in our community, we are who? Copycat people. Because Brother Shola have done something, I have to do it. But check here. People face their own journey. And face yours too. Next one, please. So, what are the options available for us? We have the family route, especially for those who are going to be in love, for those who are going to have children and their children have lived here for more than 7 years. it could be a route to stay in the country. For many of us who are international students, I encourage you, please pay your tuition fee. Don't be locked out, because if it happens, your visa will be curtailed and you need to find something else to do. So if you are lucky and you are able to graduate with good grades, even as a student, I encourage you, volunteer somewhere. Continue to apply for jobs so that you understand what it takes to become marketable in the UK. Because some is about UK work experience and they cannot demonstrate why they are here. Skilled worker is an option. I will coach us. We're going to create a WhatsApp group if you want to join us. Let's use the new entrant policy that the Home Office have put in place to ensure international students can confidently go for interview at a reduced salary. And employer, many don't know, if you're an international, there's a new entrant policy that allows an employer to pay you less than the threshold set by the Home Office. Go there, challenge them to say, if you employ me, this is a figure I'm going to save you in the next 5 years. And every employer loves the word money saving. But many of us don't know. Therefore, many of us who are promising talent or highly talented, global talent is an option for us. Lastly, we have Innovator Finder Visa for people who are business-minded. You want to change the world. You want to create disruptive solution. We can help you to get. And those last two are some of the best immigration options that are available. Let's take it. Let's apply and get it. Next one, please. What I'm trying to emphasize here is, please, for whatever reason, it might be better to go back home than to become an overstayer here. As I'm looking at us, many of us are probably around 35 years old. Add 20 years to your years. For any reason you become an overstayer, you will elongate your journey. And sadly, because you guys live in England, we don't have that policy in Scotland. You may want to move. Yeah, it's because of what we call right to rent. Your driver license will be taken away from you. The bank will close your account, and you will lose your right to rent. Please do not contemplate becoming an overstayer. It has consequences. You won't be able to use NHS anymore. Yeah. And with the level of stress all of us are carrying, yeah, don't do it. Next one, please. So, I mentioned there are some routes here in the UK. You can use 3 years to settlement. Innovator Finder routes can do that. You have the 5 years, 7, 10, and if you become an overstayer, technically it's 20 years to settlement. Do not contemplate. Add 20 years to your journey. Yeah, don't contemplate it. Next one, please. So, because of our time, if you are interested in global talent, options are there. It's for, and it covers science, engineering, medicine, humanities, social science, and tech. I focus more on the tech, but we can handle the rest as well. So if you are interested, please speak to us. We should be applying for it. So here we're going to create a hub with Borashola, and we are going to move a lot of people into global talent visa. How many of us are ready for that? With global talent is you don't need any employer. You can do anything. And you may even be able to sponsor some of the people here. We just need to open our mind. UK is very open. It is not just about COS, and that's what they are trying to tell us. Next slide, please. Another one. Another one, please. Next one. Next one, because of our time. Yes, Innovator Finder Visa. How many of us love to create businesses? Yeah. So if you are interested, we're going to have a WhatsApp group too. We will teach us what we call ideation. How do we create disruptive solution? I've done it severally. So, and I'm happy to coach, but it's not going to be free. So that is true. We look at what does innovation mean? What does viability and scalability mean? We will look at it and we'll give an example or 4 or 5 solutions that are very close to us, but we may not see it as innovation. And I have good relationship with Innovation International, owned by Nick. So we talk about, next slide, please. Next one. So the emphasis again is about how easy it is for one to become an overstayer. If for any reason you overstay your visa by more than 14 days, there is a week grace of 14 days. Within 14 days of a visa expiring, you can still apply, but Home Office says you need to have exceptional reason why you cannot apply before your visa expires. Moment after 14 days, you have a penalty already. Please, let's do whatever we have to do. Know your pathway and apply. And I want to say something about our children. Many of us are bringing teenagers into the country. And what is happening now is some of them are being Islamatized because of our own carelessness. Yeah? There are lots of vultures outside waiting for our own mistakes. Many of their colleagues at home are going to go to uni. We cannot afford international fee ourselves. Then we have these teenagers that are in the tech world. What is going to happen to their future? Please, if you have a teenager or teenagers and you are struggling, please speak to me. We have to work together because our young girls should not be used as prostitutes. Our boys should not go into gang. It's going to happen if we don't work together. The numbers are adding up. We are bringing teenagers and we cannot send them to uni. There will be no bursary for them. That is a fact. Think about this. If you know anybody that is likely to come, you better tell them the truth. UK cannot be sympathetic to those we classify as people with no recourse to public fund because your allegiance is to your country, not to the UK. Because I see a lot of us doing petition. Your petition can never add up. You are not UK citizen. Next slide, please. So what are the strategies? I've got 3 minutes. What are the strategies? Please, increase your network. Enough of nigbati, obedient. Go out. The country belongs to the majority. How many of the majority are in your network? You need the majority to survive here too. Get a mentor. If you are highly talented, I'm happy to partner with you and be your mentor. And get other people too. UK work experience is an option. If you are studying and you are not giving your skill to sharpen your marketability, it's a problem. And also volunteer. If you are a good volunteer, you are one leg into that company. You cannot just be a triangular. Next one is about visible. How many of us use LinkedIn? Go on LinkedIn, create topic, create story, celebrate yourself. Yeah? If you achieve a good grade in any course at uni, celebrate it there. Create a story, be visible. Because even for global talent, they look at all those things. Yeah? What impact are you making in the community? We want to know. Next slide, please. So I have a good news for us again. For some of us, because there is one size do not fit all, yeah, especially for some of us who are dependent, I want us to think carefully that I don't want to go home. Bradford College, I've got some of these courses that we can take, short courses, and we can use it to remain in the country. Laboratory technician, you don't need a university degree to do all these things. Oh, graphic designer, bricklayer, roofer, carpenters, and joiners. How many of us are? These guys make money than many of us who are professionals. Because the word professional we brought here is totally different. Next slide, please. Bradford College I've got is just one. When they say a program is 1 year, it's less than 6 months. You are dependent. Instead of you to go and pay COS of 13,000, you can do this. Next slide, please. The same thing with HNC in graphic design. take it, apply, and your future will be guaranteed, and you remain here in Scotland. Next one, I say in the Scotland. So we have case study. I can't treat it because of time. I have just 1 minute remain. I just thank you. I hope the presentation will be beneficial to you and your family, and I pray that we will remain here. Our stay will not be elongated. 20 years will not be added to anybody here, and we can fast track our journey. Thank you very much. Okay, question and answer. I'm happy. Don't be shy. The first service, people were too shy. Maybe they were afraid. I'm not a representative of the Home Office, I beg. I'm your brother.
You know the term no recourse to public fund?
Yes?
You know, some people got a job in a very good company.
Yeah.
And they are sending them for a course that will be funded by government.
Okay.
Should they accept it? Should they accept such?
Okay.
Or is it
No recourse, I will answer. No recourse to public fund is stated on so many BRP. If you are, for example, housing, yeah, if council tax, some people ask me, council tax has nothing to do. Any benefit that you are going to get that has nothing to do with your NI, it's not public fund. Public fund come from Department of Work and Pension. You have to fill a form and your NI will be attached to those funds. So just like housing association in Scotland is number one housing association, Glasgow Housing, because the stock was transferred from local authority to an housing. If you get it, it can be considered as. So if you are on a training and it's going to be fully, because there's something in England called level up. Level up is not public fund. There is an agenda of the government to say people are of low skill. We need to reskill and upskill people. Even my company is trying to be part of Level Up. It is not public fund. It's an agenda to make sure people within a domain, a community, are upskilled. So if you are going for a job and your company is going to train you up, some organization will even give you a bond because we don't want you to be trained and you disappear. Yeah. So it is, but if it is attached to national insurance number, be careful. It could be public fund. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. The mic is gone. Yeah, I can hear you from here, but yeah.
Thank you very much for this awareness. I want to ask a question. Well, it's not basically on what we are talking now, but it's part of it. Not allowing for public fund is stated categorically in most of this immigration line. But some people were asking me some questions, which of course I tried to find out myself, but I could not get exact answer, like universal credit. Universal credit, they said, according to where I went to ask them anyway, that universal credit is not some say it's a public fund, some say it's not a public fund. So I'm throwing this question to you now. Is universal credit a public fund that can disturb an immigration system in this country?
Thank you. A person knows, when it comes to, I used to be a chartered housing practitioner, and when you work in that sector, you are also, I trained people on welfare benefit before. Universal credit was brought in by LibDem or LibCoin government. You know, what we did was to amalgamate all the benefit into one pot to reduce the level of abuse that was under the Labour government. Universal credit is a public fund, 100%. If you get it, Home Office is going to hang you. Yeah, so please, that's it. Yeah. Because you have to make a declaration. Have you? Have you? And if you say yes, then it will escalate to something else. Even if you pay the money back, you've abused your immigration right in the UK. And you can be given what? Your conduct association is not conducive. So any application will be continued to be refused unless you come under human rights. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
So please, if you are here, do not, because sometimes we have children here, and the hospital will be pushing you. Know your right. Don't fall for it, because they are doing their job. Because by the virtue of their job, they need to encourage everybody so that you don't charge them for discrimination. They will give you the same information they will give to the majority. It's your duty to know, I am not eligible. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I like to say thank you to our daddy, because this is one of the best gifts that a daddy and a leader can give to us, his children. It's a very wonderful presentation. So, there are a number of us, we have people here that are already hurt or maltreated by their employers. And you said that they should have a rethink in exposing their employers. And my pastor here mentioned something, and I want to re-emphasize and look at it from this perspective. If you expose them, like you rightly said, they may have like 70 employees or 100 attached to them, and all of them will be affected. And you may never know, one of those employees may be the person that God is going to use to actually reestablish you. Yeah. And if you have affected them negatively, all of you will go. And he said, the employer you are now exposing will still remain. And that's the fact. Even though they retrieve their license, they will find a way of working their way back and gain it later. And you are already in Africa. So let's have a rethink. If you are hot, our daddy said you should speak to him. Have a rethink. Don't expose any employer yet. God bless us in Jesus' name. And the question.
You go, sorry to say, whatever you say will do it will be used against you in the court of law. So that is the truth. When you are arrested by the police, they want to do what we call fight finding, because paying somebody is also what? A crime. It's a crime. That is it. Whatever you do will be. Okay.
And just as I was actually thinking of it, another question, you said something about it. Just immediately I was thinking about it. You said there's going to be a group WhatsApp. It still remains.
It's been created.
It's been created, but it still remains a group chat.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask, because there is no limit. Enough time to answer questions now, and even after you are going to stay till 4 p.m., it might not be sufficient. Are you available, sir, for personal consultation? And if yes, how can we harness that opportunity?
I'm a businessman.
Yes.
So if you want to pay me not to go tonight at a fee, I know my word per hour. You understand? So that is a good thing about the job I do. So I'm available. I will leave here by 4 o'clock. Yeah, but like Pastor mentioned, I'm a community influencer. You mentioned something here. My destiny may be attached to you. I may not know. If I treat you well, my destiny is guaranteed. And that is my own motto. Treat people right, because we are on a journey. So for consultation, I'm available, and I charge £150 for consultation. That is it. So it's just, I cannot be forever. It cannot be forever. But what we are bringing to Bradford, Chapel of His Glory, is bigger than £150 an hour. We want to create a community of talent and people that we can future-proof their tomorrow. Yeah, brother Shola will be part of it, Lala will be part of it, and it's going to happen. The community is there. So our brother Lala is a group admin. Many people will going to have workshop, webinars, but it has to be led by you. Don't expect us to spoon feed you. They know me, I don't spoon feed anybody. I'm a doer. Whatever needs to be done, done. Boom. If you are not ready for it, please forget about it.
But this issue of COS, it's been said that couple have to have their own COS. So what happened to the children? Are they
Okay.
going to get their own?
Many people have asked me the same question, to say, from on the 11th of March, we are going not to allow people to have what? Dependent on COS. So, what is COS? Certificate of Sponsorship. Healthcare is not the only option for us, and we've demonstrated it. But for whatever reason, if you are under COS and you don't have the right to sponsor your children or your dependent, come and speak to me. We will do an assessment for your family and we will guide you on the right pathway. At this, from on the 11th, if by mistake you are on it, from on the 12th or on the 13th, you cannot sponsor if you are a healthcare worker. The rule is the rule. Is to curb abuse within the system. For example, you've mentioned people are exposing because they don't have working hour. I want to say something about family with children. If you are likely to become a destitute because you have been scammed, please speak to your local authority. Government have given them what we call ring fence money to look after the children under Section 55. Under Section 55 of the Immigration Rule, the best interest of the children should be paramount in whatever we do. We don't want these children to be destroyed, because of the mistakes of the parents. That's the way Home Office view. If you are coming, you have proved to the Home Office you've got money to sustain your family. Your employer also have guaranteed you to say they will give you shift. But now, both of you are not doing what you are supposed to do. Should we allow the children to become a destitute? So government have given ring fence money to local authority across the nation to support family with children who are in that circumstance. Please, it is your duty as parents to look at the best immigration option. That's why I'm going to do the data for dating. If you are in the country, you want to fall in love with data. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble the same way. So, Pastor, have I answered your question? The parents who are not able to, you may even switch to another option that allow you. Under the healthcare system, it's not only carer. So you can quickly take some training and move your band. Within the NHS, there are so many jobs. They are crying. Labor shortage within the NHS is at alarming rate. It's not only about healthcare. There are so many professions within the NHS. Let's look at it. Maybe I'll bring professionals who are working in the NHS to come and talk to us how we can grow our ladder. Is that something we want? Thank you.
Okay. You see, this, what's it called now? You mentioned some courses that we should not come and study here. Can you give us an example?
Okay. Apology if I mention your course here. Please, apology. I'm not being disrespectful. In Scotland, I will give an example. You say, MBA leadership practice. What are you going to practice? And the people will come and pay 24,000 for a 2 years program. What are you going to do with it? Majority of international relation, peace development. If we do an audit, this is the first question I want. That's your course. In the last 24 months, what is the outcome of the university for that particular course? What we need to start to think about, what is the shortage of education? Where are people getting jobs and the company will even support them? Let's do an audit here. People who have studied in the last 5 years, what are they doing with that profession? Yes, we know it's an avenue to come into the country, but let's use our time and money wisely. So when I listen to the Secretary of State, when they are talking about the university, Brashola worked for the university and he can tell us the truth. Many of those courses are not fit for purpose. they are using us as cash cow. Yeah? If you come here to do social care, social work, you are likely, you guarantee 70% you get a job. Nursing, you get a job. Data, you get a job. AI, you get a job. Yeah, we need to know where the country is going. Tap into it, rather than to say you want to come and do marketing, advertising, public supply, history, philosophy. But the good thing is, if you are already here, you may need to retrain your mind and reskill. How many of us know you don't even need a university degree to get a job here? And that is what we are trying. Pastor notice, I started a course on immersive technology. How can we use virtual reality, augmented reality, and 360 degree to encourage our children, because they are the problem. Now, we're on a journey, but their journey is scary because of TikTok and co. But how can we come down to their level and create solutions and make sure they are like us? That's the intention of the government. So they put a scholarship out, and I apply. I got it. I'm doing the training. So if you know where I come from, it's about book, Ekiti State. Yeah. yeah, I'm doing that. And I'm going to also learn about drone technology for education. Yes, drone technology for education. But how do you spend your time? Is it just to buy a mobile phone on 700 pounds? Yeah, when you can take a short course of 20, 40, 50 pounds. Do you even have a CPD for your life? Because the generation of this UK, you cannot live in the past. You have to live for the future. And that is what I want you to learn from here. You have come to UK. UK is an advanced society. It's about techie. How many of us are familiar with ChatGPT? This presentation today done by an AI for me. Because I said, I'm going to Bradford. I created what we call a new job. How many of us know prompt engineering? Yeah, I created a prompt. I'm going to Bradford. I want to speak about ABCD. Had as an immigration expert, create a presentation for me. And he did it. Because I want it to be engaging. So within 2 seconds, I got what I should present. Is that not as simple as ABC? That's it. How do you spend your life? That is, but thank you. Another question. So for our sisters and brothers, if you don't know how to use ChatGPT, we'll create that course for you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the enlightenment. My question is about our teenagers.
Okay.
When they finish their year 11, because we're not entitled to public fund and they can't go into the uni, what will you advise us to let them go for? Either sixth form, A-level, or apprenticeship? What will you advise us while we are waiting for them to be able to get into uni?
Thank you very much. Like I said, I don't like when we do one size fits all for anyone. We need to sit down with these young people and ask them what they want to achieve. With that, then we create a support network around them. Yeah, I know 70% of people who have come into the country, their children will be left behind. 100%. They will be left behind. In order for us not to allow them to affect our own future, yeah, we need to work. Are they not our retirement plan? They are. Yeah, either we say it or not, they are our retirement plan. So if it is well with them, it will be well for our future. So with this group, in my own little charity, because I'm data focused, I did a survey and I discovered we are sitting on a bigger problem, especially for those who are new in the country. When we came, no wife, no baby, nothing. We were able to navigate. But people who are arrived now, we have 14 years, 13 years, 20 years old. What are they going to do? So my charity, we've created a diploma. We can extend it to here. A diploma in data analytics at level 8, which is similar to HND, accredited by the Scottish government. And I've even got funding for it to train 20 people. But we are going to make it open. It's not public fund. The funding comes to my charity. We train people, and anyone who have got a child over 17, even adult, if you want to do it, but you sign an undertaking. If you don't complete it, you pay the value of the fund they've given to us, 1,000 per head. If you know you are going to enroll and you are not going to complete it, don't enter, because we have an outcome. We want to prove to the government that people will get a job, right? So if you have a child or children, please connect with me. I will enroll your child or children. Even yourself, you want to do it, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Pastor.
Sorry, Pastor. This is very important, sir. Very important. This is one very important.
See him. Okay.
Very important, sir. It's for everybody. It's for everyone. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Talking about fund, I stumbled on an article online yesterday. It's about NHS 60 million pounds fund, 60 million pounds workforce well-being program launched to support NHS staff well-being and mental health. Well, I didn't get that. It's just the title that of course, I know the title, but deep down, I don't really understand what it means for the NHS staff, especially for those that are.
I don't work with the NHS, but I can understand what NHS is doing. The NHS job is highly pressurized job. A lot of nurses are moving away because of the stress. Even the shift pattern, 12 to 12, is not good for life. And that is what we are coming to do. There are two jobs here, nursing and teachers. If you are familiar with the insurance word, once you mention it, your insurance will go up, because the chances of you having problem is so high, whether with your health or with your whatever. So in terms of the government may be looking at to see how many people are complaining about the NHS, and they've created a fund to keep people and support people to be better, because our well-being is more important than the salary. If we break down, the company will break down. And that is, so it won't be a public fund. It's a package to support the staff. Is that okay?
And now can we, the NHS staffs there, key into it? I'm speaking on their behalf.
Okay. You are aware now, when your managers invite you, what is your problem? Say the truth. Yeah, we don't say the truth. And when they ask us to even come for us to get therapy, to get support, oh, it's not for me. Oh, it's not, I get my shift. Oh, I must earn my money. But meanwhile, we are damaged internally. Yeah. So please, work-life balance is so important. And we will not lose anybody again. Jesus.